And as you can see, as I just walked outside, they sent by a threat liaison to drive by the house because the government can't get enough of, number one, assaulting me with director of energy weapons with the psychos inside of the property. That's why they limit my pay and refuse to send me specific rides because they want me to stay in a property where they're having me assaulted. This is why they stole my home. They stole my home because they wanted me to be inside of a property with other people. They were getting pissed off that I was inside of a property, my own home by myself, because the government can't have that. Even though they can sit there and monitor me on cameras and was assaulting me from the neighboring properties, they wanted to make sure they was directly inside of the house. So they have me in a property with somebody living underneath downstairs where they're aiming director of energy weapons at you all day and all night, including while you're sleeping. And then while you're outside of the house, they're trying to hit the vehicle and run you off the road. Now, the government has engaged in occult and esoteric practices where they're going around in the county of Jackson, Mississippi, where they're having black people hung and murdered. One person named Fortune. Simply because I know how to read the esoteric and occult knowledge. I know how to read that stuff. So I know when the government is engaging in sacrifices and rituals. So they just murdered this girl named Fortune in Mississippi with she's 29 years old. So they murdered her because of this Jackson National case. And then last night they're aiming director energy weapons at me and assaulting me nonstop. I'm like, what is the increase of weapons? Because all I was doing was making wedding albums and wedding books, right? So I wasn't doing anything for them to just all of a sudden start assaulting me. So something was like, check the docket. So I checked the docket, and of course defense counsel filed a response to my motion 59E, but they called theirs 59C, which is number one, the wrong response to begin with. Number two, they stated that in their filing that they sent me certain documents, and they also stated that the court sent me certain documents, which was a lie. I never received specific documents by the court. Now, number one, what the court does is they blocked me from having access to filing. They denied me so I couldn't have access to specific filing. I requested it because of hardship withdrawals. As you guys can see, I don't have any funds. So what they did was they blocked it so I couldn't have access to the filing. Then they had the website Pacer block me accessing the website and put a bill due of $65 in order for me to access the filings, or I got to pay one by one. So to get one document, it's $5. And then if the defense doesn't send it to you, then you got to pay $5 plus whatever the attachment fees are to access those documents. So they lied and said they sent me something, which they didn't. And then I had the email to show that they did not send me what they're claiming that they said they sent, right? And then I also looked through the documents that the court sent. The court said that they sent me, or she said the court sent me specific filings. No, they did not. I opened up one of the emails. All it shows is that the court sent me the electronic filing, because that's what Judge Brimmer and his court likes to do. He does not operate from a fair court for plaintiffs, right? We know that at least 80% of the filings in the United States are pro se litigants. The other ones are being drafted by counsel that's coordinating with judges to have cases being litigated in court. But at the end of the day, a lot of these cases are, number one, made up, or number two, they're being manipulated by the American Bar Association, which on my case, the American Bar Association has defense counsel, has a chair of the American Bar Association as their defense counsel. This nutcase has been coordinating with the government from the beginning, and then lying about her participation in knowing that the government is having me assaulted with director of energy weapons, because she's been participating the whole entire time. When my home was stolen, I was trying to claim bankruptcy so I can try to protect it and, make some money. The government was restricting how I was selling items. They were showing up at locations telling the people not to buy the items. They were contacting the vendors, telling them to offer me pennies on the dollar. And then they was, I tried to do independent work. They was blocking the independent work. And so all of this has been going on for years. For years, they harassed me at Prudential, they harassed me at Jackson National, they harassed me at Nationwide Financial. Even while I was at Prudential, they would be like annuity days, right? Where wholesalers would come in, do annuity exchanges. Well, they would do that, but then they would exclude me. So I would find out that I was being excluded. I tried to do my own day. They changed the date. I started growing my territory. They took my territory away and gave it to a Jewish guy, Chris Shada. Then the territory they gave me, I started growing it. They took that away and gave it to Nicole Drewski. Both were Jews. And then they have Jackson National Life Insurance lying about how much wholesalers earn, including the manager they placed in charge of me, Alex Crosby, who was also Jewish, who basically coordinated with the government to have me harassed on a daily basis at work. I'm sitting there crying in front of him. He's like, okay, well, make some changes. And then the next day, he places in the moving chart the people that was harassing me. Those are all tactics that the United States government uses as we speak. As we speak, the government uses those tactics. You complain that something is happening, the very next second they show up with the same type of harassment. You complain law enforcement is stalking you, the very next second they show up with law enforcement harassing you and doubling down on the harassment. Because they think the shit is funny. Literally all day and all night, the government was having me assaulted with direct energy weapons, assaulting my head, assaulting my throat, assaulting my chest, assaulting my arms, my entire body. They was assaulting. I just left the house because I was filing documents for court that I tried to get in because Judge Brimmer, you send a court document, he won't respond to you. As soon as defense sends a document, he immediately responds and rules. So I was trying to get a document in before he ruled, because that's what he does. He ignores everything. He doesn't give a shit about what you're filing. The only person that he's paying attention to is defense counsel and their filing, because they're all coordinating together. So I'm upstairs trying to prepare a document. They're upstairs assaulting me with the direct energy weapons and thermal cannons. Back to back. So as soon as I leave the house, I walk out of the house, then they have a truck that's basically engaging in the gang stalking, drive by the vehicle, like they do every time I leave the house. Every time I come and go, they have somebody drive by and leave the house. This jackass right here on the bicycle that's coming into the lane of the car right here, and that just got behind the car, he's a threat liaison. They harass me nonstop with people on bikes. Nonstop. So that's why he got behind the vehicle. He's going to merge into the lane while I'm driving because the government tells them to look for me. So that's what they do. They look for me and they gang stalk and harass me. The other day, I'm sitting here driving people home from the airport that they had stalking me. They had 6 or 7 get on the highway behind the car, merging in and out of the lane so you couldn't get over. The government pays these jackasses to do that. So I'm familiar with the government tactics because they do the same shit on a daily basis. The same exact shit on a daily basis, nonstop. Harassing you, assaulting you, blocking your pay, going on to social media, commenting on your page, having Parkland Hospital employees contact you and leave you voicemails and send you text messages, just nonstop harassment. And then you're like trying to get help or assistance, and they have the communication and computer saying, oh, well, if you believe you're being assaulted with direct energy weapons, go to the hospital. You can't go to the hospital. I went to the hospital before. The government, for a UTI, the government was in there banging on the walls and telling the doctors to do an involuntary psych evaluation for a UTI. And then on top of that, still didn't give me the medicine. What they did give me is a pill that caused my hair to fall out, and they made sure that I took it there. She was like, you know what? It's still kind of early for you to be able to take some medicine. Let me go get it. So she went and got some medicine and a cup of water for me to take. So I took it not knowing that the government was using the hospital to engage in trying to murder civilians. And until this day, they stay putting doctors and nurses and people that work in the hospital network in the back of the vehicle to gang stalk me. They get in the car talking about no worries, be safe, while the government's trying to have people drive you off the road. Non-stop, all day long. The day that they was filing this shit in court, the day before yesterday on Wednesday, because I was trying to make payment, because on Tuesday they only allowed me to make $24. So on Wednesday I had a payment due for the car. So the government's harassing me the whole time, because every person they put in the car is a threat liaison. They're harassing me the whole entire time, trying to drive me off the road, placing threat liaisons in the car that's documented, like actually thinking that they're working for the fucking government like a bunch of psychos, sitting in the back seat on laptops with their laptop opening, looking at you and then typing notes and shit, while the government's sending people to try to crash into the vehicle. And then they get out of the car, no worries, like 6 times. Why the fuck you gotta say it so many times? I know you're working for the government. But this is what the government does literally all day long. And then yesterday I stayed in the house because I knew they was going to be on some bullshit. And so what did they do? They started at midnight. They was already assaulting me with directed energy weapons, but they increased the frequency because it was burning my skin. You can feel the aches on your bones because they did the same shit in Georgia. So I know what it feels like when you're being assaulted with thermal cannons and directed energy weapons. I know what it feels like because I've been subjected to it. Now they want to know if I want to go to Princeton.
Take the exit, then at the light, turn right.
Yeah, I can't take that exit. I'm all the way over here. So now they want to send me an hour away to Princeton. Because they like harassing me, and then they like sending me to the city called Princeton. Because they're a bunch of psychos.
In a quarter of a mile, use the left lane to turn left on Highline Drive. At the light, turn left, then go past this light, and at the next one, turn left. Go past this light, and at the next one, turn left.
And they want me to go to 301 North Market Street to pick up someone, because they like to harass me with the number 31. So I'm pretty sure they just dropped somebody off at that address so they can have me go over there, because that's the type of shit they do. And then what they're going to do is harass me the whole time while I'm driving, because that's the type of shit the government does.
In a quarter of a mile, take the ramp on the left for I-35 east-south.
My fucking bones are aching because I was being electrocuted and electrocuted with director energy weapons for hours. For hours, nonstop, back to back.
In a mile, use the right lane to take exit 428C toward Commerce Street East, Reunion Boulevard. Take exit 428C toward Commerce Street East, Reunion Boulevard. In a quarter of a mile, use the left two lanes to take a slight left toward Main Street. Take a slight left toward next one, turn left. In 600 feet, arrive at the pickup.
They just had one of the little threat liaisons pull up behind the car. Now they just found this black lady with a mulatto child out of nowhere to come get in the vehicle. They literally just dropped them off on the corner for me to take them home.